Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever known exactly what you wanted to say in English, but the moment you had to say it out loud, your mind went blank?
Your heart starts beating faster.
Your hands feel cold,
Your voice suddenly sounds different.
and then you say something much simpler than what you planned.
Or worse, you say nothing.
If that's happened to you, this episode is for you.
Because today, we're talking about something almost every English learner experiences.
The fear of speaking English in public. And let's be clear, this isn't about grammar.
It's not about vocabulary.
It's not even about pronunciation.
It's about psychology.
Here's something surprising. Most people are not afraid of English. They are afraid of judgment.
Yes, they're afraid of what people will think.
They'll think I'm stupid. They'll notice my mistakes. They'll laugh.
But let's pause. When you hear someone speak your language with an accent, what do you think?
Usually you think, wow, that's impressive.
Exactly. Most people respect effort, but in our mind, we imagine criticism.
Fear in public speaking is normal, even in your native language.
Yes, many native speakers are terrified of public speaking.
So imagine doing it in another language. Of course it feels intense. Let's break something important. Fear is not a sign that you are bad at English. Fear is a sign that you care.
You care about how you sound. You care about your image.
But sometimes caring too much blocks performance. Now, let's talk about what actually happens in your brain. When you feel nervous, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your brain thinks you are in danger.
But you're not being chased by a tiger.
You're just speaking English.
But your brain doesn't know the difference. When your brain feels danger, your heart beats faster, your breathing becomes shallow, your thinking becomes slower.
That's why you forget words you normally know.
It's not because your English is bad.
It's because your brain is in survival mode. Now here's the powerful shift. Instead of saying, I'm nervous, try saying, I'm excited.
That sounds small, but it changes everything.
Physiologically, excitement and nervousness are very similar. The difference is interpretation. Let's practice reframing. Instead of, I'm scared to speak, say, I'm growing. Instead of, I might embarrass myself, say, I might improve.
Language changes mindset.
And mindset changes performance. Now, let's talk about expectations. Many learners think if I make one mistake, it's a disaster. But think about native speakers. They make mistakes constantly.
They say, they restart sentences.
They forget words too. Fluency is not perfection. Fluency is comfort with imperfection. Here's a truth that might free you. Nobody is analyzing you as much as you think. Everyone is busy thinking about themselves.
Yes, they're worried about their own performance.
You are not the center of their world.
And that's good news. Now, let's talk about a common mental trap. You speak in public once, you make a mistake, you replay it in your head for days.
That's called overthinking.
And overthinking destroys confidence.
Instead, try this. After you speak, ask yourself only 2 questions. What did I do well? And what is one thing I can improve?
Not 10 things, just one. Now, let's be practical. If you're about to speak English in front of people, do this. Slow your breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds.
This tells your brain, I'm safe.
And safety restores thinking ability. Another trick, don't aim to impress, aim to communicate.
That changes everything. When you focus on sounding impressive, pressure increases. When you focus on delivering a message, pressure decreases. Let's imagine a scenario. You're in a meeting. Your manager asks for your opinion. Your heart jumps. Your mind says, don't speak, stay quiet.
But another voice says, this is an opportunity.
Start simple. You don't need complex sentences. Say, I think we could try, or in my opinion, or even, I'm not sure, but maybe. Simple beginnings reduce fear.
Here's something powerful. Confidence doesn't come before speaking, it comes after surviving speaking.
Each time you speak and nothing terrible happens, your brain learns, oh, I'm safe.
And fear decreases gradually. Now, let's talk about identity. If you see yourself as, I'm bad at public speaking, your brain will look for evidence to confirm that.
Instead, say, I'm becoming better at public speaking.
Small shift, big difference. Remember this, fear is temporary, regret lasts longer.
Imagine not speaking for 5 years because of fear.
That's more painful than a few mistakes.
And here's something relatable. Think about the first time you rode a bicycle. You were scared, unbalanced, maybe you fell, but now you don't think about it. Public speaking in English is similar. It feels impossible until it feels normal. Now, let's prepare your mindset for growth. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I succeed? What if people understand you? What if someone appreciates your effort? What if speaking opens a new opportunity?
That question changes energy. Before we move deeper into practical techniques in the next part, I want you to reflect quietly for a moment. When was the last time you avoided speaking English because of fear? What were you really afraid of? Embarrassment? Rejection? Looking less intelligent?
And what actually happened? Usually nothing dramatic.
Fear exaggerates consequences. Reality is calmer.
In the next part, we're going to talk about practical speaking tools. How to prepare before speaking. What to say when your mind goes blank. How to recover smoothly from mistakes. How to control your body language. Because confidence isn't magic. It's strategy plus repetition.
And once you understand the strategy, speaking English in public stops feeling like danger, it starts feeling like progress.
All right, in part 1, we talked about fear in your mind. Now we're talking about control in real life, because confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build.
And today we're building it step by step. Not motivation, not hype. Real tools you can actually use the next time you speak English in public. Let's start with something simple but powerful. Preparation reduces fear, not memorizing a perfect script, but preparing structure.
Many learners panic because they try to build perfect sentences in real time. That's too much pressure.
Instead, prepare frameworks. For example, if you're in a meeting and need to give your opinion, memorize simple starting phrases. From my perspective, I believe that, in my experience, one possible solution could be.
When you have a starting phrase ready, your brain relaxes. You're not starting from zero. Now let's talk about something everyone fears. What if my mind goes blank? First, it will happen sometimes, even to native speakers.
Yes, native speakers say, let me think. How can I say this?
And that's your first tool. Use natural pause phrases. Instead of silence, say, let me think about that for a second. That's a good question. I'm trying to find the right words. How can I explain this?
These phrases buy you time and they sound natural.
Silence feels long to you, but to others it feels normal. Now let's talk about mistakes, because they will happen. You might say the wrong tense. You might mispronounce something. You might choose the wrong word. Here's the rule. Correct lightly, move on. Example, I went to the conference. And continue.
Do not apologize for 30 seconds. Do not explain grammar.
Confidence is not about 0 mistakes. It's about not collapsing after one. Now let's talk about body language. Your body can reduce your fear before your words do. Stand straight, shoulders relaxed, chin level, not looking at the floor.
Even if you feel nervous, your body can send a message to your brain.
There's something called physical feedback. If you act confident physically, your brain slowly follows. Now imagine this situation. You're asked to introduce yourself in English in front of a group. Your heart is racing. Instead of trying to be impressive, use the simple and clear formula. Name plus background plus one interesting detail. Example, hi, I'm Maria. I work in marketing, and recently I've been focusing on digital campaigns. I'm excited to be here.
That's enough.
Public speaking is not about being extraordinary, it's about being understandable. Now let's talk about the biggest mistake learners make. They try to translate their full personality into English immediately. You are funny in your native language, smart, charismatic, but in English, you feel like a child.
That gap hurts.
But here's the truth. You don't need to express 100% of your personality on day one. Start with 40%. Clarity first. Personality grows later. Now let's deal with something deeper. Fear of judgment. Ask yourself this honestly. What is the worst realistic outcome? Someone notices your mistake? Someone corrects you? Someone thinks your English isn't perfect?
That's not disaster. That's normal human interaction.
Now ask, what is the best possible outcome? Someone respects your effort. Someone understands you clearly. Someone offers you an opportunity.
The upside is much bigger than the downside. Now let's practice a recovery technique. If you forget a word, instead of freezing, describe it. Example, you forget umbrella. You say, the thing you use when it rains.
That's fluency. Fluency is not knowing every word. It's knowing how to survive without it.
And native speakers do this all the time. Let's talk about speed. Many learners speak too fast when nervous. Slow down. Pause between ideas. Confidence often sounds slower.
Think about powerful speakers. They don't rush. They allow silence.
Silence is not your enemy. It's control.
Now imagine you're presenting in English. Here's a simple structure that reduces fear. Tell them what you're going to say it, repeat the main point. Example, today I'd like to talk about 3 main challenges. First, second, finally, to summarize.
Structure reduces anxiety because your brain knows where you're going. Now, let's talk about exposure. Confidence grows from repetition. The first time feels terrifying. The 5th time feels uncomfortable. The 10th time feels manageable. The 20th time feels normal.
Avoidance increases fear. Exposure reduces it. If you avoid speaking for months, fear grows. If you speak weekly, fear shrinks. Let's be honest about something. You might shake, your voice might tremble, you might feel heat in your face. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're failing.
That means you're stretching.
Growth feels uncomfortable, always. Now I want you to imagine something. 6 months from now, you consistently speak in meetings, you volunteer answers, you introduce yourself confidently. How would that change your life? More visibility, more respect, more opportunities.
Fear blocks doors. Courage opens them.
And courage is not absence of fear, it's action despite fear. Here's something very important. Stop waiting to feel ready. No one ever feels 100% ready. Even experienced speakers feel nervous before big presentations. The difference is they speak anyway.
Now let's talk about internal dialogue. Before speaking, don't say, don't mess up. Your brain focuses on mess up. Instead, say, speak clearly, communicate simply, share your idea.
Positive direction is more powerful than negative avoidance. And here's something relatable. After you speak publicly in English, you will analyze yourself. That's normal. But instead of saying, I sounded terrible, say, I survived, I communicated. Next time will be better.
Confidence builds through self-respect, not self-criticism. Now, let's finish with something practical and powerful. Next time you have an opportunity to speak English in public, do 3 things. Prepare your opening sentence, slow your breathing before speaking, and accept imperfection in advance.
That third one is key. If you expect perfection, fear wins. If you accept imperfection, growth wins. Speaking English in public is not a talent, it's a skill, and skills improve with repetition.
You don't need to eliminate fear completely, you just need to reduce it enough to act.
And every time you act, your comfort zone expands.
Until one day, you realize something surprising.
The thing that once terrified you feels normal.